Arsenal dismantled yet another team in the Premier League this season, this time being Newcastle United with a dominant 4-1 win at the Emirates. Now yet again this was a tactical masterclass by Mikel Arteta and a lot of the players really stepped up in their role. But today specifically we're going to look at Jorginho's involvement and why it was so important in the game and how him and Declan Rice worked so well to win this game for Arsenal convincingly. Let's get into it. Now recently in the Premier League, Mikel Arteta has had the tactical knowledge and tactical expertise to clearly win games for Arsenal. He is the reason why they're dominating games and everything he's doing is just completely working. And yet again we saw that today with the fact Jorginho came in yet again and was brilliant for the team. Against Liverpool he did the same thing and was vital to the team winning. Obviously they used the Trossard system which has worked brilliantly and now they've brought him in and yet again it's a great tactical versatility that they have. Now before we get into Jorginho I want to give a lot of credit to Declan Rice because if I didn't mention him I think that'd be a discredit to one of the best midfielders in the world. Now this guy is perfectly amazing and really helps Jorginho. He can by himself basically press and dictate where the ball goes and he is so good at reading and understanding where to play and where to find space. Now Declan Rice is good in any midfield for any team, but I think he actually excels a lot more with Jorginho because he has that freedom to move forward. For example, earlier on in the game he actually had a shot at goal and it was brilliant play, brilliant one-touch passing between the whole team to get the ball into that position. But when Saka and Odegaard were getting mostly manned up on that right side, he actually was quite smart and helped them or usually made a run progressive forward. And we know how good he is with the ball, progressing with it and carrying it across the pitch, and he was so good yet again drawing players away and picking up that space. Now this has helped a lot because Jorginho is obviously a lot deeper, so Rice doesn't need to be at all times. Also Jorginho has the brilliant ability of being able to not take very long on the ball. I think this is what makes him probably better than Partey for this team right now. Now Partey is a brilliant player but he takes a few touches on the ball. Jorginho is so quick at being able to execute a pass even if it's so simple. Now this chance earlier on the game where Rice does get the space to move forward, as you can see there's a lot of players on the Arsenal team. It's usually a 4-on-4 down the wing, but obviously Rice and Jorginho have come to make it help this. Now we do brilliant in this situation. They get two people on Saka. Saka passes the ball to Jorginho. Jorginho does such a little quick pass into Odegaard so Odegaard can take it on his stride and pass it across for Rice. Now obviously the technical ability of all these players is astronomical, brilliant players, but Jorginho's quick pace really helps us in these decisive decisions. And this is not the first time that Declan Rice and Jorginho have the best partnership because Jorginho often stays back while Declan Rice does press as well. We were very aggressive at pressing earlier on in the game with Ben White, Saka, Havertz, Odegaard and Rice pressing people quite well. Now Rice is so good at feeling where the ball's going to go, picking up the positions and staying in the middle. He's very good at this. He does this all the time. And when he's pressing intensely, he can always pass the ball back to Jorginho who's often in space, or even give him a quick pass back or quick pass out so Arsenal can get going, or when he has a bit of time can pick up them brilliant passes that we see all the time. And now often in times in this game when Arsenal were trying to build and push Newcastle back into their team, they actually had Rice act as one of the attackers in usually a 4 or a 5. They had Odegaard come a bit deeper to pick up the ball and run with it, and then Saka, Havertz, Martinelli and Declan Rice would be the 4 furthest forward. Obviously if White wanted to overlap he could also be that option, but often he stayed a bit back, especially in the first half. Now this is very vital because we know how good Declan Rice is technically and he can sit just outside the box. Now people don't know who to pick up in these situations. When Newcastle pushed forward they often tried to be a bit more physical, and Livramento and their defence often got baited into making the wrong decisions where we got in behind. But this all works because Jorginho is in the centre waiting for the ball to be played to him. Now there was many times where we tried to get in behind and it didn't work, so straight away Jorginho is there just outside the box asking for the ball, and he's usually trying to do a brilliant pass because we know he can to pick someone out. Now a few times he was actually very unlucky. He tried to get the ball to Saka with a little chip and he didn't get to it, and later on he tried to do the same with Martinelli and it didn't quite work out, but it was brilliant play by him just to pick up them positions. And Jorginho in space is exactly what you want. With him out of space is fine because he's usually quick enough to do a pass, and as long as you keep people away from him it can be very effective because obviously he's not very mobile. And a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the team because I think their pressing right at the start of the game sort of put Newcastle off, and they often didn't want to spend too long on the ball, so when they actually wanted to defend as well they kind of stayed off it very much in the second half. And in the first half after Arsenal scored their first goal they often just gave Arsenal a lot of time on the ball, just anywhere on the pitch, because they wanted to have a low block and try and see if Arsenal could break it and try and keep their midfield and the defence very compact. Now this obviously caused a lot of problems. We had loads of runners around the pitch. I think Martinelli was really good today, and Jorginho, when he's so deep he can cause these problems. We have Declan Rice pressing, pushing, knowing where to stand in brilliant positional play and picking up the ball and picking up positions anywhere on the pitch. And then you got Jorginho behind him. When he gets the ball he is making insane passes all the time. He's done his whole career, so it shouldn't be any surprise to anyone. For our second goal, obviously the pass by Jorginho is excellent, brilliantly timed, well passed, which you could almost see categorically they decide to do after a long time. Martinelli's making his run across the defence for a while and they still don't really react. But he's great credit for Arsenal. It's a brilliant goal and Martinelli does really well to get on the end of it. Switching from left to right, which we actually saw a lot in this game, and he came into the centre. And with the ability of Rice being able to mobilely move around anywhere, there was times where he picked up right side positions, left side positions in them half spaces. He really went around the pitch, and this leaves Jorginho pretty much open. There was no one really around him for a lot of the game because they're often trying to track the runners of Arsenal. Obviously Jorginho is not mobile. This is the perfect way to use him, trying to get him into space deep and into great position, and it worked so well. There were so many times he was open because of this tactical play by Arteta. Jorginho also had a lot of calmness in a lot of positions when he was under pressure to make sure he kept the ball. He did brilliant inside passes a lot to Odegaard on the right side, and that gave Odegaard a lot of space and able to run and able to create things for the team. And we had so much joy on that right side, having so many people help Saka for once and actually got a lot of the ball to him. And his calmness has just shown so much. If you look here, he has the ball under pressure. The pass to him isn't very good and it's hard for him to bring down, but he makes sure that he keeps the ball in a position where he can get it and keep it without the defenders getting it. And I think this is something that he is so good at. He isn't mobile, but he knows the strengths of his ability and can understand when someone is probably going to get the best of him or tackle, or what passes he should make under pressure, and in the end he passes it all the way back to the goalkeeper, making it be safe. His leadership is also a massive part of the team. He is very good at making sure people come over and help them when they need it to, and also he is a brilliant player to help other players. He's not necessarily the first man on the job. Even people like Odegaard get back a lot quicker, and with Odegaard's role where he's a lot deeper now and can progress the ball, it really helps Jorginho have someone next to him when Rice is going a bit forward and not being there. This sort of makes the whole midfield three help each other, and if there's someone on the wing who they've taken a long time and he's still got the ball, Jorginho will often come across just to help that support if there's no one in the middle or he feels like it's not needed to. But often Jorginho is a very intelligent and tactical man. He understands the game to a very good level, and he's probably going to make a very good coach when he's older. So I think he gets a bit of a free run by Arteta to understand what to do, and his leadership qualities are clear for everyone to see. He was given the captain's armband when Odegaard came off, and I thought he was excellent yet again. Now, he can't play every game. He's someone that you bring in probably against teams that you think are very good and they think they have good players that can capitalise, so making sure their attacking quality can be defined by the fact that they can't get much going on with Rice and Jorginho. Still think Jorginho overall is a brilliant player, and sometimes he will work over Trossard, and it was a brilliant inclusion in today's game. Overall, he made 108 touches in the game and had 12 passes into the final third, which is very encouraging. He made 91 passes out of his 102, which is an 89% accuracy, and he created one chance, which was obviously the second goal. For a player playing as deep as he did, I think it was excellent today, and it's a proper top performance by everyone, but especially the midfield. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about Jorginho's performance and the performance as a whole, and if you like this video, I will appreciate it, and I'll ask you to go and watch my video where I did earlier, where I'll go through a review of the whole game, looking at all the players in a little less detail. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate your view as always, and I'll see you in the next one.